Hey, welcome to Revive Your Soul. This series, I'm talking about the original wound. This is finding the gift. So you might be in the throes of confusion following a breakdown of a relationship, or it might have happened years and years ago and you still haven't quite got over it. But these types of relationships are really, really hard to get over. They are so damaging and confusing, and they leave you in a state of actually not even recognizing yourself in the mirror, not even knowing who you are. And this abuse has happened over a period of time, and it's so slow and insidious that it just ends up being so painful you don't know it's happening. Unlike physical abuse, and I've experienced both, unlike physical abuse where you know you've been hit or punched or shoved or pinched or burnt or whatever it is that people experience in those relationships, you know that's happening. With an emotionally abusive relationship, you have no idea, and you probably don't know it's happening until you've got out of it, and it could even be a long time after getting out of the relationship. It leaves you in a place of fear and confusion. You don't know what you've done, and you don't understand what's happened. And this cycle of abuse that goes around, so the idealisation, the devaluation, and the discard, and it just goes round and round and round like a washing machine. And you come out and you feel well, there's nothing left. You've just been drained. You've had the stuffing knocked out of you. You might have loads of questions and no answers. And this is a cruel game, and you don't have the rules. This is, you might even turn detective, going super sleuth, trying to find out what's going on. And maybe towards, when things don't fit, when you're towards the end of a relationship, or even in parts of the relationship where you don't think something feels right, you might go looking for the answers. And then you do look like that you've got trust issues. But you do have trust issues because they're clearly lying to you and then covering it up and pretending that you're the one that's crazy, just like all those crazy exes before you. What you've been through is horrific, and it strips you of absolutely everything, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually. You don't even recognise yourself in the mirror. And you've been fighting so hard to protect this relationship. What you're looking for is just a glimpse of that person that you had at the beginning of the relationship. You're fighting so hard for the relationship that you forget about yourself. You do not protect yourself and your energy. And it's like standing at a slot machine and you're investing coin after coin waiting for that payout. And you put so much in, you don't really want to walk away because the next one could be the winning coin. And that is what you've been experiencing. You're waiting for that big win, this fake future that you've been promised. You're waiting. And one of the reasons you don't want to walk away is you're frightened of somebody else swooping in and taking that future and getting and winning that prize that you believe is rightfully yours. But it is time to walk away. It is time to drop everything and walk away and listen to your body, listen to your mind, and this is the time to heal. This is where you're going to find the gift, and you'll be grateful that you did it, because this is where the original wound is. It's held within you, and this is what's keeping you. They grilled you right at the beginning in the idealisation stage. They found out what you were looking for in a relationship, what type of person you were looking for, and they met those needs. They put on a mask, and they found it difficult at times to keep that mask up. They found it really difficult to hold in place. So you would have seen glimpses, and you may even have given them 3 chances. So I want you to be really, really honest, no judgment, really honest with yourself. You saw glimpses of who they really were, and you chose to listen to them rather than listen to your own intuition. And the first time they were really sorry. The second time they were really, really sorry. And never going to happen again. It might have been the same thing. It might have been something similar. The third time, maybe they weren't, they hadn't realised how important the relationship was, but they're fully invested. They hadn't realised how much you meant to them, but your soulmates, you're the only person that's ever understood them. And you believed them. And honestly, you're not the only person. You believed them. You didn't listen to what your body was telling you, which was to run away, to get out. You believed them. They had total disrespect. What did you see? And that's my question. What did you see? Was it a broken inner child? Did you want to save them? You're the only person, they're your soulmate. You want to keep that relationship going. I knew this was a game and you didn't have the rules to this game. And this is where you can go and rewrite and make your own set of rules for your new life. You find and heal the original wounds. It might be a few, there might be a couple. I remember doing in my journey, finding a lot of 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds. The 3 was the major one, the 5 was not as many, that were just a couple of 8-year-olds. And they were big abandonment wounds that I'd felt. So, and it was all about healing those. And I'd never felt so whole in my life, ever. But bringing myself back and doing that healing and finding that original wound. So this is your chance. Do you cover it up, mask it, pretend you're okay and try and move on? Or stand your ground and adjust and look at the pain? And I know how painful it is. I've known my version of how painful it is and how empty and lonely, and that living in fear and not knowing what's going to happen next. And so I've experienced it. So believe me when I say I know exactly how you're feeling. I know my version of how you're feeling. That emptiness, that loneliness, because they came in and took over your life. You saw glimpses, you saw their mask fall, you saw how they treated other people, and you'd heard the stories of all those crazy exes, all those people that had done them wrong. So what are you going to do? This is your chance. This is your chance to turn the tables and look after yourself. This is your chance to write the rules for you, for your life. What are you going to do? Knowledge is 96%. Attitude is 100. You will never regret walking away, ever. And you'll never regret looking at the original wound, finding it and healing it. Never. On average, I think people go back to an abusive relationship 7 to 8 times. They get hooked back in, hoovered, sucked back in, believing, because they want to get back. They've been drugged up. They've been hooked up to a drug. And it doesn't feel safe being unattached and alone. So it's understandable that people go back. And it's also crucial that as you take this step forward, that you find a tribe, that you find people that are going to support you, that you don't find people that are going to try and hold you in this drama, wanting to listen to your pain. Because you are going to need to talk and make sense. So find the right people that are going to help you, that are going to look after you, that understand what you've been through. I'm holding out my hands to you, giving you the courage to take the responsibility and the ownership. The responsibility of the role that you played and ownership of taking back your life. To realign to it and to acknowledge how far you've come, what you've been through, and the steps, the daily steps. Acknowledge the daily steps that you're making. So I hold my hands out, I give you a big hug, I wrap my arms around you. I know how difficult it is, but it is going to be amazing. believe me.